Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures. So, it is this week in action figure news, episode 37, and we have a lot to talk about because there's some breaking news and plenty of stuff, so let's jump in without any further ado. So, of course, we're going to be talking about Sideshow, and Sideshow has released a figure. Normally, I don't really do much of the Sideshow items. I put them in this week in action figures. I don't do a video much about talking about my feelings about it, but I like to gather them up in this kind of video. So of course we have Frankenstein, who has been released, and of course it is up for pre-order. And the figure does look pretty tall, looks pretty impressive, has different head sculpts, but there is one big thing that you need to know about this figure. It is that Sideshow has decided to give us 3 different versions. So of course, this is some pictures that they shared with us for the use and be able to show the figures. So of course this gives you a little bit of an idea of what you're getting. So of course we're talking, there's the diorama over here, who of course is not included in price, and this is what is said over there, sold separately. So if you want any of these bases, you're going to have to pay $65 per item. Personally, I think when I'll be commenting at the pictures, of course, Frankenstein, I think this is a bit of a shame, and this diorama should be included and should have been even bigger. So, of course, here is the first version you're getting. So this one here is sold $280, and personally I think this is a rip-off, because getting so little for $280, I disagree totally with it. One head sculpt, 4 hands, 4 pair of hands, the ones included on the figure. Wait, no, this it seems to be even worse. It looks like there's only 3 pairs of hands. So this is really not very good, and for $280, that's a ripoff. Then you have the second version. So this one comes with some extra portraits, so that's kind of cool. It has an extra hand carrying the flower, and over there you have the chain. So this one is $325. So a bit more interesting. Then we have the deluxe version, and this one comes with, of course, extra head. So this one is $350. Now again, with everything it comes with the interchangeable forearms, with the molded arms on it, and the wrist. Yeah, this is a bit more interesting, but why the hell are you making 3 different figures? I mean, the $280 figure is ridiculous. Nobody's going to be buying it, because if you're going to put that much money into a figure, you're going to go for this one or the other one, but never going for this kind of price. And again, if you have to put another $365 for the diorama, I mean, you could have built something a bit better, maybe with some extra decor to remind the place where he was created. Would have been nice to have some instruments, but sorry, $350, $325 or $280 is way too expensive for this figure. Sorry, Sideshow. I know you're trying to do well, but for this price, I'm better off buying some Hot Toys. Now, talking about Hot Toys, this guy is ready to ship. Now, I already have talked about him. This is, of course, Grand Admiral Thor. So, the reason wherefore I'm doing these 2 figures that are going to be coming up, it's because they are now available at Sideshow. Not only they're available, they're both considered as low stock in both of these figures. Grand Admiral Thrawn, of course, this is some blogger pictures, and Luke Skywalker Artisan Edition, available at Sideshow and haven't sold out. So this is not very good as a, let's say, as a publicity for Hot Toys exclusive figures, and especially not for the Artisan. Now I can understand that the episode 7, 8, 9 are very controversial and not many people are interested by it, but again, we come to a certain principle that if you have facial hair and you cannot make it real, then you have an issue, because In-Art can do it, so Hot Toys should be able to do it for that price. So like I said, 2,500 pieces worldwide, both of them haven't sold out, so that's not very good. But of course, Hot Toys is really hammering us with exclusive, and we are going to go into more exclusives. So the first exclusive is Ahsoka Tano Padawan. So as you can see, she has Grogu the Hutt, who's the son of Jabba that we're going to be seeing in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And my answer to this figure is no, no, and no. Sorry, Hot Toys, this is cheap and really poor choice on your behalf. You're releasing a figure that stripped bits and pieces we used from the previous Padawan from the Ahsoka TV show. So again, this is not the Ahsoka from the cartoons. This is the actress who plays her. Now I understand that you've been doing a lot of these head sculpts. So yeah, for the cartoons, but not doing the cartoon versions of it. But this is a really, really cheap money grab on your behalf, and I find that extremely disappointing. So, of course, this is the figure that I'm talking about. This is, of course, TMS 123, and as you can see, it is basically the same figure that you're getting, minus a few little things, but it is exactly the same figure, so it is extremely disappointing. I have nothing against the actress who plays the role of Ahsoka, but again, this is not the Ahsoka from Clone Wars, and definitely not something I'm really interested in. Now, of course, there's some misleading publicity that is done. As you can see, you can see the articulations, and I will get back to it because this is exactly the same body as you have on the previous version over here. So, of course, we have a little Grogu the Hutt that's molded, and you seem to have some articulations on his arms. So this is another pose of the figure where she's carrying him around in the backpack of a clone over there. These are the same ones that come with the clone troopers. And frankly, it is such a disappointment. So here are some more, how can we say, publicities for you to incite you to buy these. And yeah, 2 stars of display for Grogu. I don't care. It's not the Ahsoka from the cartoon, and the head sculpt does not work. This is why I think this is cheap and lazy. And afterwards they're talking about it, but this is, like I said, basically what we already have seen, and there is nothing new over here. So here is some other stuff where there's talking about specialized body with silicone arms and seamless joints. Well, that's not true, because the joints, you can see them up here, and of course if you remove this you will see them. So this is not a totally new body, nothing new again under the sun over here. So very, very disappointing for this figure. Of course you're going to have the separate rolling eyeballs. If you see my review of the Ahsoka Padawan that I did, you know this is a bit of a nightmare. But again, it's a cheap reuse of what has already come. This is the only interesting part, is to get the holographic characters over here, but otherwise not really much interesting. And of course she has a pair of goggles that fits in a bit like the same mask that she has, this kind of goggles that fit on her also. And again, I really don't understand. This is a cheap exclusive. So if we take this makes count 3 of exclusive just for the Star Wars Day, who is tomorrow. Then another exclusive coming out, and this is of course Qui-Gon Jinn. So they decided to go with an artisan version of this figure. Now I don't have much to say about this artisan version right now, but let's have a look at all the pictures that have been given from us. So of course Qui-Gon Jinn did already come out before, and this was the original Qui-Gon Jinn that they did. And I can't remember what was the MMS number for this guy over here, but basically everything that you have here is what you're getting with the new figure. The stand is going to be different, and we're going to have real hair. So here is a nice picture of Qui-Gon Jinn over here. So yes, it does look pretty nice. The fact of having real hair, it's a nice add to it. As you can see, the stand is totally different, and the stand has already been used again, so nothing new under the sun for this figure either, except the head sculpt, or should I say the hair part. So when I'm looking at it over here, this part over here does seem a little bit problematic and does not seem, the routing over here does not seem great, and I'm going to be coming on another huge issue that I have with this figure when we're going to have in a close-up. So of course we have Darth Maul. Does this mean we're going to get another Darth Maul? Again, fake publicity on the behalf of Hot Toys, because you're using Photoshop to enhance your lightsabers, and there's some people out there that do custom lightsabers that work way better than the ones you have. And again, as a LED connected to a USB port, this should be fixed by Hot Toys, and this is sadly not what's happening. So here is a closer look at the head sculpt itself, and as you can see, this looks really thick for this kind of hair. But we have another problem. Hair, real hair, if we can call it real hair, but what about the facial hair? Plastic again. Jesus, if InArt can do it, why can you not do it on your figures either? So yeah, this is something that is unbelievable on the behalf of Hot Toys, that they cannot do it. If you're going to give us an artisan version, the stunning hair craftsmanship, but give us the hair parts all over where they should be on his face and on his sculpt. But like I said, over here we do have some little markings, and it does not look neat. So here is a closer look of the figure. Of course, it will have the separate eyeball rolling. We all know that. It's nothing new to come around. Like I said, over here, it does look a little bit weird. And the fact that we do not have the real facial hair is a big part about me not interested in this figure. So, of course, we have the different ways of posing him. Does he look okay? Yeah, like I said, I do have a bit of a problem how the hair falls. Again, this is a prototype, maybe closer to when the figure comes out. We're going to have a bit more. So, like I said, this is going to be something to have a look at. Then we have the holograms, that if you've seen for the other one, they were already there. So again, really nothing of brand new with this figure except the head sculpt. So here is everything that you get with the figures. Of course, he has his little communicator, then he has a little dart over there, if I'm not mistaken, and of course the two lightsabers. So really not much impressed. So this puts it as 4, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have 5 exclusive figures. And here we go. Now, I was wondering when Hot Toys was going to attribute something similar to Iron Man, Batman, or Spider-Man to the Star Wars universe. And here we have it. Anakin Skywalker concept art figure artisan version. I mean, Hot Toys, you've made 4 artisan versions of Anakin in less than a year or a bit over a year. Are you insane to not use the F word? This is really becoming ridiculous, making all these figures. And when I'm looking at this figure over here with his haircut, I'm seeing somebody else, but we're going to be having a look at it on some of the other pictures. And I mean, when I'm looking at him with this haircut, he reminds me of Michael Jackson. So technically, we have Michael Jackson joining the Star Wars universe. So yeah, this figure here is, I mean, I find it really disappointing and really a cheap reuse with a lot of material. Now he has a thicker cloth over here than the original one. It does seem to be wired again, and again false publicity with you having to enhance the lightsabers. This is not really great at all, and I think this is misleading publicity. But here, come on, let's be honest, this guy looks like Michael Jackson. So yeah, and over here it is even more kind of scarier, and you have the interchangeable eyeballs. This is something who is going to be very interesting to see how that's going to look and how that's going to work over time. But I'm looking at him over here. I don't see much, of course, Hayden Christensen on this one over here. Does look a bit weird here. It looks a bit better, but the hair looks, like I said, it looks like Michael Jackson. And from what you can already see over here, You can already see that he seems to have some dreads already, and this is something that is going to be really something to look at. But again, it does should say to you that you're reusing a lot of the material. Of course, some of the material is a bit different, but let's be honest, this is exactly the different Anakins that we already have. So, of course, they're telling that there's some of these have some bendable wire in it. This is nothing new. We have already seen this with the products. And yeah, I don't know. Well, like I said, I see Michael Jackson, some kind of weird figure. And again, all of this, it's just we use bits and pieces that we have already seen and making 5 artisan versions for this May 4th is really ridiculous. Everything they announce, you must be close to what? $7,000-8,000 if you want to pick up everything that Hot Toys done. This is insane on their behalf, and we still haven't got the AT-AT driver from the remnant that we should be getting, and there might be some more stuff showing up. So yeah, yeah. Now to tell you what I think, well, I'm hesitating on the artisan version of Qui-Gon Jinn, and for the rest, it's going to be a pass because, of course, like I said, Ahsoka does not look like the Ahsoka that I'm interested in, and of course, I did pre-order Thrawn because I didn't pick up the other one. I was trying to bid against Sideshow, and I kind of lost because I had to have him on waitlist, and I decided to cancel. Luke Skywalker, definitely not picking that one up, and Michael Jackson, Phantom of the Opera, definitely not picking this one up either. So let's move on to Hasbro, and Hasbro has gone insane. So I give you the ultimate Grogu. This Grogu comes in 2 different versions. This is a picture of the exclusive one, who is currently sold out on Hasbro Pulse and in most places where they are available. And you can already see where I'm going with this. And of course, the exclusive came with an extra little postcard. I mean, for $600, you're giving me an extra postcard as an exclusive. That does seem very expensive. Now, of course, I'm not saying that Hasbro didn't go into a lot of detailing for this figure, but as you can see, they really wanted to go and bring it on a strong animatrix, and everything seems to be moving around here. The eyes closed, the ears move, he has walking, he has lifting his arms up, and all this kind of great features that you expect from any kind of animatrix figure that they do. He does sounds, he has all different sounds depending what you interact, how you interact with him. His mouth opens. As you can see, the eyes go back. Now the big question is, and anybody who does mechanic or any other parts where you have moving parts, you will know that more you have of electronics, more you have of moving parts, more chances that you're going to have problems with it. And at $600, yeah, that does put it as pretty expensive. And I don't know. The problem is going to be a general release. Now, general releases mean that they're going to be popping up technically all over the place. So, of course, this one is due for the 31st of December, so it may not go up on Black Friday. But if you want to get this one cheaper, there's high chances that some of the places may be getting rid of them later on because they're not going to sell for them. And again, I should think that this is a very expensive toy. Would my daughter like it? Yeah, maybe, because it's cute. It's going to do noises who look like my baby. So yeah, she might like it, but I'm not putting $600 into something that could break and will have to be a whole hassle if you have to want to send it back under guarantee. So yeah, really, really insane. So continuing with the Star Wars Black Series, and this is where I'm be going for the end of this video. So of course, Hasbro has done the May 1st video to go with the May 4th event, and this year our friends at Hasbro are giving not one but 2 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And personally, I think this is very disappointing as a fact of doing this. So by the looks of it, we're getting two figures. So two figures, I guess we're going to be having something around the $60 mark because this is what has been going on lately with these figures. They did a kind of cool packaging because this is based on Clone Wars, the first ones they did, who were like 5 minutes episodes who came out in the early 2000s. The first season was garbage. The second season was a bit better. Again, this is my personal point of view on it, but they wanted to give you a bit of a nostalgia with kind of a screen from back in the day with the VHS system underneath the TV. So yeah, it's an interesting idea to do it, but again, this is going to make it a bit of a shame. So here we have the two figures, and like I said, I'm going to be putting a bet that this one is going to be around $60 because this is roughly the price. I read somewhere that it could be around $52. I have high doubts that two figures, normally lately most of the double packs are costing more than buying the individual figures, who seems completely ridiculous. So just a little bit of history for this set over here. So of course this is Asajj Ventress in her other form. This is the one that Sideshow did also, and of course this is the battle where Anakin gets his scar on the right side of his over his eyes. It is Asajj Ventress who gives it to him. So moving on to the second San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and this is of course the RT-80 with the 501st ARF Trooper who goes with it. Now it's very funny because Hasbro did it the other way around than what Hot Toys did, because Hot Toys give this one first, then the Mandalorian Grogu one later on, and Hasbro did it the other way around. Now of course, I mean, why Hasbro would not do the same principle? They made the mold for this thing. Well, let's get our money back on this and let's do all different kinds of versions. But again, why are you making this a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive? Because technically this is an army builder. I mean, look at the picture yourself. This looks like a bit of a battle on this place, Unbani, I think it was, where they were fighting against each other with this General Creel, I think if his name was, this traitor who wanted to become the new apprentice of Count Dooku. This looks very similar to this place. Again, look, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these out there. Why are you making this a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive? Is beyond me. This is something that should be a general release and not a San Diego Comic-Con release. Now, this does now become very interesting for me, because I'm starting to wonder, what are we getting in G.I. Joe? Are we going to get two San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, or are we going to get one big one? And this is something that we're going to have in G.I. June when they're going to be doing their live stream. I guess they will be talking about the San Diego. And also something that was very surprising, didn't see much news for any new HasLab. So that's not good news, but again, maybe we might get something for G.I. Joe, and we will see what it is. I will be doing some more videos and about speculation. Now, moving on to the last part of the video. These are, of course, two clone commanders that they have announced, also again from the Clone Wars, the first version of it. And of course, the first one is Clone Commander Thor. Now, it's not that I'm interested in picking this one up, but I hope the fact that Hasbro and Hot Toys have been a bit stealing their ideas or copying, to be more polite, and I would hope to see this guy come out from Hot Toys. And of course, the other figure that they also announced is Clone Commander Doom. We all know why he's called Doom, because he has the same marking than Doctor Doom from the Marvel Universe. These two figures, I really do hope that they come out from Hot Toys, then I can add them to my army of clones. So, that's going to be it for all the news. There was a lot to go through, and of course there was some breaking news in it. Normally that doesn't always happen, so this is why the episode is running a bit longer. So let me know, are you going to be picking up anything that Hot Toys has announced? Do you want me to do some more content around the Black Series vintage collection from Star Wars? Let me know in the comment section, and let's start a conversation about our favorite hobbies. So that's going to be it for episode 37 of This Week in Action Figure News. If you like this kind of videos, please leave a like, share, comment in the section. If you have any suggestions, you can also leave them in the comment section. If you want to go and check out my Facebook page, Instagram page, you can do it. The links are also in the description. And of course, if you're going to order anything to Sideshow, I have an affiliated link. If you want to help the channel, I would highly appreciate that you use this link so that the channel can be helped with it. So until then, I hope you have a fantastic Sunday, and if you're watching this on any other day of the week, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!